online activity through secure encrypted servers, shielding it from the prying eyes of my service provider and other third parties. ExpressVPN hides my internet address, the number identifying me online, so I can't be tracked. My online activity is actually mine again. Imagine that. It's so easy to use that your entire family can figure it out with just one tap. And it works on all your devices, phones, tablets, TVs, desktops, up to 8 devices at once. Let's return to the good old days of online privacy and freedom. Use my special link to get 4 extra months of ExpressVPN for free at expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, happy Tuesday morning, everybody. It is the 7th day of October. Nathan Martin sitting in the studio this morning in Al's seat, just keeping it warm for him the rest of the week. Al's here. And Stephen Maxwell as well on the other side doing the production work. How are you, sir?
Good. How's it going?
Man, just good. It's a happy day for most of us. It's a beautiful day. I saw a big old moon in the sky as I drove in this morning.
That's nice.
Was that the super moon last night they talked about?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they said it's one of those situations where the moon is really close to the Earth and its orbit planet, so it looks bigger. I don't know why sometimes it looks bigger and sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes it looks like it's the huge, and then other times it's like way little tiny spot in the sky.
It's colliding for Earth at the
Look out for Planet X right behind you.
I enjoy a good worm moon. Remember those?
No, I
moon?
have no idea what you... Oh, that brings the worms out of the ground?
I don't know why they call it that. I think they're in January, though.
I have no idea.
And there's strawberry moon and
dude,
sorts of moons. I used to work at a TV station and hear weather people all the time. So they would talk about moons 24/7.
Oh, the worm moon is a name for the full moon that occurs in March, historically linked to the emergence of earthworms from thawing ground and beetle larvae from the tree bark as spring approaches.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Google AI.
Yeah, I was kind of there.
You were there. That makes sense. You know, the earth starts to warm up just a bit and the worms come out and fishermen are happy.
That's right.
Well, we have a great show for everybody today that man, our calendar is just full. I had a text message that just took my interest away. Not my interest, my notice, information, my attention span away. I apologize. The show is full today with 3 special guests that are coming up. First of all, we're going to talk with Dr. Noah Miller. In fact, Stephen's going to turn that camera around because he's actually in the studio ready to go. And then I'll tell you after that, we have the Fair Queens coming in around 7:45. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, the Red River Chorale is coming in talking about their activities, their big concert coming up Thursday night. But before we get to that, Dr. Noah Miller, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Oh.
We're not used to having someone in here at 7:20.
Yeah, so I didn't have your mic turned on. Now I got your mic on. Let's hear that beautiful Evangeline Paris accent again. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you today?
Doing well. Thank you very much.
I'm doing well as well.
We hear your name a lot on the clinic spots that the voiced by Dr. Jonathan Hunter, and he mentions, come meet the clinic's newest doctor, Dr. Noah Miller, and we're glad to have you in the studio. I've talked to you a few times before. I think we've had you here before, if I recall.
Yes, I'm glad to be back. Thank y'all for having me back.
Yeah, so that accent, I'm going to tell you what, people can instantly tell you're from not Rapides Parish. Tell us where you're from, Doc.
So I'm from Evangeline Parish.
Not that far away.
I would like to also thank Dr. Hunter for mentioning my name. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm from Evangeline Parish. I grew up in Vedrine, Louisiana, which is a very rural area. I went to school in Ville Platte, and I initially, after I finished my residency in Lake Charles, I went back home to practice there for a little while. And the reason why I'm here is because I met a redhead from Pineville, and she stole me.
And there are wedding bells in your future right around the corner.
Exactly.
And we're so glad you're made Central Louisiana home. It's really interesting to see, from my perspective, what it's like to start a new not residency, but a new doctor's business, but you're joining a very well-established firm with the clinics. I'm sure that was a help.
Exactly. And just recently, they changed my location within the clinic. I'm still in the same building, but they moved me to a different area in the building where I get to work with, like, side by side with Dr. Hunter, which has been great. Just because he has a vast experience. and I've got to learn a lot from him. And so that's been a great change. And I'm still doing a little bit of Access Health as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm getting to meet new people. And so that's helping me grow my practice as well.
One of the things about the clinics we hear in the ads is that you can see someone today. What does that mean?
That means that you can either call and make an appointment same day, or you can walk in and see me that day.
So you're not a walk-in clinic, but you have so many providers that if someone comes in with like an urgent care case, you can work them in somehow.
Absolutely. And I like to make the habit of, particularly my patients, if they have a problem and they are sick and they need medicine or they need to be seen, they can see me that same day.
That's very impressive in today's world when we're so used to calling and getting an appointment, weeks down the road. It's
right. Sometimes.
Right. Yeah, it's tough to see a doctor sometimes. But we all try to squeeze people in when we can, particularly if it's something serious. We do a good job of that at the clinics.
Now, can I infer from that you may not see your doctor, you just may see another? Is that work that way sometimes, or are y'all trying to make sure that you get to see your doctor?
Sometimes it does work that way.
Right.
Because we do have that Access Health part of the clinic. But I know for myself, and I feel most of the partners at the clinic, if somebody needs to be seen that day, we will see them. Or we'll, if it's something serious that we can't handle at the clinic,
right,
we'll advise them on going to the ER or an urgent care or have you. But we all feel like we want to see our patients.
Well, you mentioned Dr. Hunter. I've mentioned his name as well. He happens to be my personal physician for many years. I mean, for a long, long time. And I've been there frequent. I don't want to say frequently, but as you get older, you get seems like you go see the doctor a little more. One of the things I appreciate is the labs are there as well. I can get my lab stuff done, X-rays done, things that are sometimes you have to be sent someplace else, and the clinics has all of that as well, right there in house.
Absolutely. And the other thing too is that, we have a call schedule, and if you get sick, let's say you get sick and you're in the hospital and you get admitted and Dr. Hunter's out of town, and so you stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
I have all your records.
Yeah.
Because we share all that with each other. And I feel like that's a good benefit to the patient. We already have everything. We don't have to call the clinics and get their records and wait days to get that.
Well, that also helps if somebody comes in and they have to be seen by another provider. The records are already there. I mean, you're not having to wait or call out or things like that. So incredibly helpful.
Yeah, and we definitely, I feel like we have a good environment where we help each other out when someone has a family emergency or is on vacation, because doctors need breaks sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. So talking, we hear again clinics, and by the way, let me just thank you and the entire folks for being a title sponsor here. I mean, we hear it every single day. The voice has changed recently, though. It's not Dave Grayson's melodious tones. It's now a British lady's voice. The clinics, I can't do British.
Very fancy.
Yeah, very, very fancy. But so we hear it every single day, and we appreciate the fact that you guys believe enough in our program to be the title sponsor, and it gives us a chance to get to know you guys a little more. One of the things that he talks about, though, that some people may find, like, what's the big deal about that, is that if you're in the hospital, your doctor will see you in the hospital. Why is that a big deal? Is that not common today?
It is uncommon, sadly. And I'm kind of old school in that thought. That I feel like it's a huge benefit for the patient when they get to see their doctor that they've been seeing for years, that knows everything about them, all their medical history in the hospital. Whether it be, if you get a car accident, we are not the kind of doctors that's going to fix broken bones. But if you're in the hospital after a car accident, you have a broken bone, and the surgeon needs help with your diabetes or your blood pressure, it's a huge benefit to see your doctor there. Also, I'm a big fan of Patch Adams. He was the doctor that would say that the best healing is laughter.
Right.
I think it makes a huge difference when you get to see a familiar face.
No doubt.
Because there are some particularly elderly people that don't have any family, to come visit them in the hospital. And if you get to see your doctor, even just walking in the room and talking to the person makes a difference.
Dr. Noah Miller is our guest this morning. Stephen, do you have a personal physician?
No.
Let me hook you
I was trying
up.
to hit him up here in a minute. I was like, I need to go there. I'm a last minute kind of guy, so.
Well, and it makes me think about I went to Jonathan Hunter like 25 years ago, or a long time ago. So he's been with me all these years.
Uh-huh.
He was a young guy when I first went. So there's an advantage of building that long-term relationship. Young families, I'm sure you would welcome young families.
Absolutely.
To talk to you.
Absolutely. I see some pediatrics as well.
Wow.
But no, it's a huge thing to me to build that relationship with your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a huge difference to know everything about the person, their personality. If you take care of them in the hospital before, the problems that arise before, you already are prepared for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what we had. I had Dr. Davis in Oakdale back in the day. So I don't drive to Oakdale much anymore, but that was my last doctor.
Dr. Tommy?
What's that?
Tommy Davis?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. He's the man, so.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good.
We appreciate having Dr. Noah Miller here. We're going to keep you over for the next segment. I was thinking about that. If I remember from a previous interview or conversation we had, isn't your father in the medical field also?
Yes, my dad is a nurse.
Nurse, that's what I was
nurse.
thinking. I think I remember that joke about you get to boss your dad around now that you're the doctor or something. I don't know if that works quite that way.
So he actually worked at Rapides like a few months before I came here, and then I moved over here, and he moved back to Mamou.
He's like, no, I don't need my son telling me what to do. I'm sure that's some great family conversations and jokes and stuff.
Oh yeah, we learn from each other all the time.
Yeah. Well, and good doctors know nurses. They see the patient all the time. You're going to get your best information from your good nurse.
Absolutely.
All the good doctors I know highly, highly value that frontline tier team. All right, so we're going to take our bottom of the hour break. We've got Dr. Noah Miller from the clinics with us. We're going to come back, and I'm going to see if he'll diagnose a mole on my face. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do live diagnosis on the radio, but got some more conversations. Feel free to give him a call, 318-442-8255, the BOM Talk Line. Right back after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The owner of the New York Stock Exchange is betting on betting. It's official. The Intercontinental Exchange is investing as much as $2 billion on betting platform Polymarket. The company lets people wager on the outcome of real-world events such as elections or sports. Another day, another artificial intelligence deal. IBM announcing a plan to integrate Anthropic's artificial intelligence technologies into its software solutions. Shares of IBM popping higher. Overall, stocks are trying to figure out direction this morning. S&P and Dow futures are little changed. The S&P 500 hit another record high yesterday. And Ford faces months of disruptions to its business after a major fire last month in an aluminum plant in upstate New York. The automaker is the biggest customer of the factory. According to the Wall Street Journal, a significant portion of the facility will be out of action until early next year. Ford's F-Series relies on aluminum from that factory. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Don't have time to go to the library anymore? It's okay. We can help. You can find Rapides Parish Library's eBranch in your pocket or home. At rpl.org, we offer access to thousands of ebooks and audiobooks, plus exclusive online databases filled with research tools, tutorials, and more, available anytime, anywhere with your library card. From students to lifelong learners, RPL's eBranch opens the door to endless resources. Go to rpl.org, get an e-card, and start exploring today.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds on our Tuesday, with the afternoon highs getting up near 90. Only about a 10% chance of any showers or thunderstorms, and little of any breeze at all. Tonight down to 69 for the overnight low. And then for our Wednesday, cloudy to start us out, and then partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the afternoon highs again near 89 degrees. Only a slight chance of any rain. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
Welcome back to Talk Back on this terrific Tuesday. I like calling it that because the T's just go together. It is the 7th day of October, and we're glad to have Dr. Noah Miller with us this morning from the clinics. Recently moved to the Pineville, Alexandria area, and happy, I know, to be part of the clinics. We mentioned that you said it was a redhead that caught your attention from Pineville. So glad to know that the fishing lures are still working out there.
Yeah.
I got to talk to Vernon over at Rapides. He keeps talking about how we need to recruit more doctors. I'm gonna tell him he's using the wrong bait.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So she's a physical therapist in Pineville, and it's kind of convenient for me because we share a few patients.
Yeah.
And I'm a big communication person. Like doctor to doctor communication is so important. And so I feel like our relationship has helped several people in different ways, medically.
You know what's funny? I've met you, like I said, a few times. We bump into each other at maybe chamber events or different things, and then had you here. And our mutual friend Billy Tingle, of course, is I think the CEO there at the clinics. And you're a young guy, but you come across like an old soul. There's something about you that's that old style. I could almost see you carrying a black bag, doing a house call or something.
Oh yeah. And I used to do that a lot when I was in Mamu, just because it was a little bit easier and I guess safer. But I'm still open to do that. I love that.
Wow.
Really? I'm one of those people. I don't like to be in the same place all the time, all day.
Yeah.
I like, that's why it's one of the. There's several reasons why I do it, but it's one of the reasons why I like to go to the hospital. I like to go to clinic. We also take call at Clash. I like to be in different areas, move around, stay busy.
Same four walls get annoying after a while.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So, I want to get your perspective too. We've heard a lot about different hospitals, clinics, whatever, having a hard time recruiting younger doctors. Why is it so? What has it been like being in this central Louisiana area, and why is it important to bring in young professionals?
It's very important. And the big reason is the newer generation of doctors, we always have to prepare because doctors are going to retire. I mean, there's older doctors in the area that are soon going to say, you know what, I'm going to hang my white coat on the wall and I'm going to enjoy my retirement. And in an area like Alexandria, we have to attract young doctors so that we keep our medical community connected. The other important thing is we got to keep them because you got to build relationships. Doctors need to build relationships with the other doctors, and patients need to build a relationship with their doctors. And so if you get young doctors and you can keep them here, it really builds a beautiful and good medical community.
Did you always want to do like general practitioner, family practice, or?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I went to medical school for that sole purpose. I was very open in medical school. I have an uncle who's a urologist, and I think surgery's cool. But I realized that I got bored sitting in those,
You want to be like a people person, yeah.
Yeah, sitting in those four walls, standing and operating on somebody for hours was not my forte. And I also realized I liked taking care of kids. I liked taking care of middle-aged people, and I love my old people. And I also realized that I like clinic. I like those quick visits and making sure everything's okay and treating, the runny nose, the cough, the sinus infection. And then I really enjoy sitting at the bedside in the hospital.
Would you consider Nathan old or middle-aged?
Middle-aged.
Steven's going to get himself in trouble is what he's looking for. That's very good. I guess I hope in today's world, but I did hit 60 this year, so I don't know if that, I don't mind asking for the discount, I can tell you that. I walk in and say, can I have that gray-haired discount? And they're like, yes, sir.
I'll take the senior coffee.
So, you mentioned going to the hospitals. You go to both Rapides and Cabrini? Is that
just Rapides?
Just Rapides, okay.
Just Rapides.
All right.
But our group also rounds at Clash, which is the surgical hospital, like right across the parking lot from our clinic.
Right. Yeah. Very, very convenient there. And that's a full-fledged hospital nowadays with overnight stays for mainly surgery recovery.
Absolutely.
They don't have an emergency room.
No. And they do. Most of the patients that I've seen are orthopedic surgeries, and the orthopedic doctors are really good about like, hey, need some help with some medicine, high blood pressure, high heart rate, that kind of thing. And that's where, we also take call over there.
Well, I love that idea of building a relationship, with your doctor over the years. I feel like I have that with mine. My wife feels that way with her doctor. That you're not just a cold, impersonal AI, bot. That you're a human being. That you have your own stuff that's going on and can understand. So if folks are looking for a new doctor, family practice, you could handle the entire family, right? Not just one.
Absolutely. I had a mother the other day say, hey, can I bring my kid with me next time? If, because she's sick too. And so I said, yeah, of course you can. And the only caveat to that I will say is we don't give a lot of the pediatric vaccines at our clinic because they're expensive and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm more than happy to see kids.
Well, theclinics.us is the website. Pretty easy to remember. Theclinics.us, primary care physicians, gastroenterology, podiatry, and all sorts of other generalized medical needs. I think I hear 20 some odd providers on the commercial.
We have several nurse practitioners that help us out. There's a dermatologist and a pain management doctor that also works in the building.
You need to talk to your website guy, though. I don't see your picture on here, so we need to get that picture updated.
I was looking at it the other day, and there's a few things that need to be changed.
Yeah.
Fuss at them.
Well, we'll get on Billy about that. Well, Dr. Noah Miller, we're glad to have you in the studio this morning. Thank you for coming and sharing your heart for Central Louisiana, your desire to see people be healthy, live long lives, and be successful here in Cenla. And we hope the same for you.
Well, thank you all so much for having me, and absolutely, that is my goal. I want to take care of the people over here. This is my place. Y'all are my people now.
All right, awesome.
My place, my people.
I'm signing up.
All right. You'll be looking for a phone call from Stephen at 445-9823, 318-445-9823. That's the number for the clinics. Ask for Dr. Miller by name. Get the man with the plan. Thanks, Doc.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
KSYL. Central Louisiana has what it takes. Strong workforce, perfect location, and a legacy of getting things done. That's why Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is producing clean fuel in Pineville, investing $2.5 billion, bringing 1,100 construction jobs, 600 permanent jobs, and millions in local tax revenue. Made here, powered by us. Visit BeaverLakeEnergy.com and see how we're putting Central
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. At Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine, and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back on this Tuesday morning, and it just got prettier in here because the Rapides Parish Queens are in the studio. Good morning, ladies. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Stephen, the Sparkle has entered the building, and we have with us this morning Jamie Kyle, the Rapides Parish Fair Queen, and Evie Bobeth, the Junior Princess. Ladies, good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good. Better since we're here.
Better since you're here. Were you a little nervous?
Oh, yes, sir. Kinda.
A little bit. Well, you don't have to be nervous at all. We don't bite, and even if we did, we're on the other side of the counter from each other, so we can't reach you. And I see we have another princess that walked in as well. Good morning.
Good morning.
Come on a little closer to this microphone and tell us your name.
I'm Cambry Lily.
Say it again.
Cambry Lily.
Cambry Lily. All right,
Yes,
Cambry,
sir.
what is your title?
I'm Senior Princess.
All right, so we have a junior princess, a senior princess, and the queen herself in studio. So talk to us just a little bit about this process of becoming the queens of the fair. How did this happen? When did you have to sign up for the competition? Let's start over here with the queen.
I believe the deadline to sign up was August 22nd, and the Queen's contest was held at LSUA at Melder Hall. We were there since 7, and the Queen contest was until 2, so we stayed all day, did our interviews that morning, and then we went over our walkthroughs of how everything was going to go during the pageant, and then we went and ate lunch with all the girls and got to bond with them. So to just get to know who we're competing against is not just a contest, it's about knowing everybody that's around you and making friends.
Wonderful. So that was a great experience for
Yes,
all of
sir.
you, and I know you're excited to have been named the queen.
Yes,
and
sir.
That was probably grueling to wait for that name to be called.
It was, most definitely.
All right. Well, let's turn our attention to the senior princess and Miss Cambry Lily. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. It was kind of you to ask. Tell us where. I forgot to ask Jamie where she goes to school. Where do you go to school?
I go to Hicks High School.
Hicks High School. All right. And Lily, Miss Cambry, where do you go to school?
I go to Poland Junior High.
Poland Junior High. Wonderful. And then we'll turn our attention to Evie. Where do you go to school?
I go to school at Our Lady of Prompt Succor.
Wonderful. So we have a wide variety of schools represented all across the parish here. I'm going to turn my attention to Evie and ask you, what made you want to participate in this competition to become queen? I'm sorry, you're Cambry, you're Evie. I'm flip-flop. Let me turn to Cambry. I'm going to come back to Evie. Cambry, what made you want to be part of this process of running for Fair Queen?
Well, I really enjoy the fair. I've always enjoyed going to the fair and riding the rides and eating the funnel cake and all the stuff in it. And I'm an active member in 4-H, and I love entering projects and everything. And I really just wanted to do it. And people have encouraged me, and I think it was going to be a fun experience. So that's why I did it.
Oh, that's exciting to do. 4-H, you mentioned. Are all of you part of 4-H?
Yes, sir.
Is that one of the prerequisites to be a competitor?
It's not required, no, but it is. They want us to be in 4-H. Like, it represents the parish better, because 4-H is a main part of the fair too, because you have the livestock exhibits, and then you have the EVAC center where the kids from all the schools and parish, they enter their projects.
Mm-hmm. So how long? Let's turn to our youngest contender here, Evie. How long have you been in 4-H?
I've been in 4-H for 2 years.
Yeah. And you enjoy that?
Yes.
All right. So do all of you have animals that you take care of?
So I believe I'm the only one that enters animals in the fair. I've been an active member for the past 8 years, and I've entered sheep, goats, horses in the livestock fair ever since I was in the 4th grade. And today is actually the horse show at 10 o'clock at LSU Ag Center. And then on Wednesday, everybody brings their animals up there. Thursday is the cattle show, and Friday is the sheep and goat show.
This girl knows her stuff, y'all. She knows exactly when everything's going to take place. Jimbo, you're not needed anymore. Thank you very much for being here. Just that day would come. Jimbo Thills is here as well, the chairman of the fair, and I know you're super proud of these girls, and thank you for bringing them in. As we talk about the 4-H that all of you are participating in, educate us who don't know. What are the 4-H's? What's 4-H all about?
So you have basically, there's different things you can enter in 4-H. It's about spreading farm animals and stuff. That's another thing, agriculture. That's a big thing in 4-H. You want to know a lot about agriculture. You want to be able to talk to people. Like we have a program in Rapides, Junior Leaders. I'm the secretary in it. We go around and do a lot of volunteer work. You're going to have a bunch of junior leaders at the fair this year volunteering at the Barnyard Nursery and things like that.
So, ladies, we know y'all have some other radio stations to go to. We've got a few more minutes with you. Is it pretty exciting to get to do the tour this morning, be on radio?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Cambry and Evie, the junior and senior queens, is this something you think you'd like to do? I think I said the names wrong. Sorry, Cambry. Yeah, no, Cambry and Evie. Are you planning to continue doing this in the future?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Both of you say yes. So we may see you again down the road.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
and what is your favorite part of the fair besides the funnel cakes?
I like volunteering in the Barnyard Nursery. I love helping with animals, and it's a passion of mine, and so I just really love doing it.
Evie, how about you?
Same. I like the Barnyard Nursery. That's where I spend most of my time.
Really? So when most people think about the fair, they think about the rides, but you're saying there's so much more to the fair than just the rides.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And when should people go to the fair? Every day, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to miss anything.
Yes,
Do y'all like the rides?
Yes.
Yeah, look, the little hesitancy there. I think you like the animals more than you like the rides.
Yes,
I can tell. Although we'll say here at CenLive Broadcasting, we are selling tickets, 50 tickets for $30. People can get them starting at 9 o'clock. Is that right, Stephen? And so they can come by and get the discount tickets here. That's the only place in CenLive to get them in advance. But I have a feeling you guys probably don't need tickets. There's something about that crown on your head that kind of is a free pass to anywhere you want to go, right?
Yes, sir.
So we got the horse show, and you're showing today. Is that right, Jamie?
Yes, sir, I am.
So we got to make sure we get you here at a time.
Yes,
on
sir.
time, I mean. And is there your last push to invite people? What's the big stuff you want to make sure they don't miss?
Don't miss the Barnyard Nursery. It's also open on Sunday this year. Ms. Jane Petrus will have it extended. So if you can't come during the week and you can't come on Saturday, you can definitely come Sunday. We'll be open all day. And then don't miss the entries, being able to go look at the EVAC Center. We'll be helping there today, set up all the arts and crafts. And then the livestock shows, not just the Barnyard Nursery, but you can also go to the Ag Center and go look at the livestock entries, see them animals.
And we can see the queens around there, it sounds like.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like we'll see y'all at the nursery a lot, is what it sounds like.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Evie says yes. So what's your favorite animal, Evie?
My favorite animal is a koala.
Do they have koalas at the fair? Oh, okay. It's still your favorite, though.
Yeah, but my favorite animal that's at the fair is a horse.
Okay. Very good. Have you ridden many horses before?
No, a couple times.
You're going to change that today, right? You think you get to ride one today?
I don't know.
Ask the queen. She's got one.
She'll definitely be able to pet it and love on it.
There you go. Great answer. Well, Cambry, Evie, and Jamie, we're so grateful you ladies stopped in this morning to talk to us about the fair. Jimbo, you're sitting back there in the wings. Anything else that we need to cover about the Rapides Parish Fair this week? Step up to the microphone.
Just want everybody to come out as often as you can. We're going to be there all week. Weather's going to be great. Security's going to be great. Food's great. Everything's great. And you get to see all your friends. So please come out and support the 4-H kids and the Rapides Parish Fair.
And y'all got Senior Day coming up Friday, right?
Friday morning.
Yeah, I think most of the seniors pretty much know about that, but it doesn't hurt to remind us because we forget.
Oh, yeah. That's okay to do when you're a senior, but we certainly want to remind everybody to come out. That's a real big day. You got a lot of plants to give away, and then after the seniors get through with Senior Citizens Day, they can grab their grandkids and go straight on out to the Midway and have school's out Friday.
School's out Friday. That's right. My kids have reminded me that several times. So I have a feeling I know what they'll be on Friday. I'm still working on Friday, but hey.
That's so sad.
Well, moms and dads are in here. Thank y'all for bringing the queens in today. Y'all have brightened our day. We're delighted to have you with us today. Once again, we've got Jamie Kyle, the Queen, Cambry Lily, the Senior Princess, and Evie Bobeth, who spells her name frequently because nobody knows how to spell it like a Bobeth, right?
Yeah.
Junior Princess. Thank you, ladies, every one of you for coming in this morning. We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners, the fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt in your mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's restaurant. 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
My wife was frying okra. She's from Mississippi, so that's her favorite thing to do. She left the burner on high, and it didn't take long to ignite. So I ran to the stove, grabbed the pot, and that's when I got burned from a grease fire. And yes, the pain was, it was bad. Oh, Blue Cross treated me great with the recovery process. On the financial side, it would be expensive without Blue Cross. And that's what I was worrying about because I was out of work for 3 months. I'm Chad. I'm from Baton Rouge, and I had Blue Cross for 10 years. I don't eat fried okra. That's the funniest story.
Louisiana Blue. The right card, the right care.
With today's RM World Travel Minute, I'm Mary Carey. Thanks for tuning in. The American Museum of Natural History in New York City is bringing back a beloved nighttime program, giving young visitors a chance to spend the night and sleep in the museum. Flashlights, scavenger hunts, and nighttime guides included. There are dates added for this month through December, and additional dates in 2026 have also been announced. The special event is open to children 6 to 12 years old and their parents or caregivers. Children under the age of 8 must be accompanied by at least one adult. Groups of 5 or more children ages 8 to 12 must also be accompanied by an adult. Tickets for the general public start at $225 per person, and they include the sleepover experience, snacks, a continental breakfast, a special gift, private shopping access, and a museum pass for a future visit. Ticket sales launch this week for the general public, so if you're planning a trip to New York City, this is a really special program for families, and super glad to hear it's coming back. Head to amnh.org to get tickets, and you can find more travel info at rmworldtravel.com. Until the next time, happy travels.
Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talk Back. It is the 7th day of October. I've said that date a few times, partly on purpose, because it is the 2-year anniversary of the attack on Israel. That was in the news quite a bit this morning. And, as we will come back in a little bit with some more local information. But I think it is important to recognize those anniversaries and those dates, because that was a date that certainly has changed the face of the Middle East over the last couple of years. I know people have divided opinions, but I'm hopeful that there may be some peace brokered in the Middle East. Hopeful. There's discussions as we speak taking place in Egypt with representatives of Hamas and different countries that are trying to broker that peace and bring the permanent ceasefire, the release of the hostages. Hopefully that will happen. It'd be nice if it happened on October the 7th.
Yeah, a little bit closer. It's a 20-point, I think, peace plan that they're talking about, that transitionary government as well for Gaza. Hamas would not be involved, but yeah, complicated situation.
It is.
A lot of opinions, a lot of lives lost since that day,
Right.
And it's been tough for them over there for sure.
Well, and the humanitarian crisis that is taking place in Gaza, if it doesn't touch your heart, I don't know if, maybe you need, go talk to Dr. Noah Miller about a heart checkup. Yeah,
Sure.
because that's, people who are suffering need our compassion and care on all sides of the matter. So that's the big news that's taking place around the globe. We do have a phone call. We didn't get to take one during the fair, ladies, but we'll take it right now. Good morning. You're on Talk Back with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I'm heartbroken over the suffering in Gaza, but I don't want to say I'm equally. It's a different heartbreak, but it's very serious. The way people here in America, especially on the left, the term they use for it, because they say it's a genocide, and that is just completely factually false. It's not a genocide. The Gazan birth rate is prolific, and there are more now than there were at the beginning of the war. More Palestinians. I've checked the population numbers, but we seem to cling to this, and it boggles my mind. It's such just a blind hatred for Israel. Why Americans, especially on the left, homosexual and transgender Americans, would cling to that cause. It baffles me. They would not live one day in Gaza. They would be subjected to the exact same things that the Jews were on October 7th. Actually, the segment of Israel they attacked was the farthest left leading segment.
Yeah, and Dave, I apologize. The music is playing. It's going to cut us off. We'll talk about it some more.
You've been listening to Talk Back. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenlaw Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Today marks 2 years since Hamas' attack on Israel that killed around 1,200 people. Deborah Pata is across the border from Gaza at the site of the Nova Music Festival, where many of the victims died.
A grim milestone here in Israel as the country mourns its dead 2 years on from the Hamas terror attack. There are still 48 hostages in captivity, 20 believed alive. Their families are desperate for a deal as indirect negotiations between Hamas and Israel take place in Egypt.
In a speech today, a senior Hamas official called the attack a historic response to Israel's actions. The U.S. government shutdown is entering day 7, and a CBS News analysis finds federal officials have flagged more air traffic control facilities for low staffing levels over the past few days than they have since the post-COVID travel boom in 2022. Correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
We are seeing air traffic control staffing issues now several days in a row, often in places that don't typically have staffing issues, like here in Phoenix that saw about 250 delays coming in and out of this airport yesterday.
The control tower at Hollywood Burbank Airport closed for a few hours because it was unmanned. This passenger gets it.
That's the way they have to protest, right? They have no other way to show that it's hurting not just them, but us.
As more Democratic cities and states try to put up legal roadblocks, President Trump says he would consider using the Insurrection Act to send federal troops in.
I'd do it if it was necessary. So far, it hasn't been necessary, but we have an Insurrection Act for a reason. If I had to enact it, I'd do that.
A federal judge has turned down Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's attempt to keep the National Guard out of Chicago. State Attorney General Kwame Raoul.
The only situations that are out of control are certain ICE and Customs Border Patrol officers who are engaged in shocking overreach.
The Pentagon is relaxing its controversial new rules for media access.
The Defense Department now says journalists will not need its approval before running stories with information that was not officially released. There are still rules under which journalists could be deemed security risks and lose their Pentagon credentials. The Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press is still demanding clarification on that. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has removed several news outlets from their workspaces at the Pentagon and given those spaces to news outlets that are more friendly to the Trump administration. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Pope Leo will say arrivederci to the Vatican for the first foreign trip as Pope. The Vatican says he'll visit Turkey and Lebanon next month. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Hey, I am Brant, and her name is Sherry, and she's a friend and a colleague of mine, and we were just praying for her, actually, because she had a major surgery she just went through.
Yes, and I am very happy about something you actually talk about all the time, which is Medi-Share. That's right.
Of course.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like with Medi-Share and your healthcare bills?
You know what? It was seamless. And that's such a blessing when you're already nervous about a health issue, which I was.
Yeah.
Members shared my expenses. There were zero problems. And let me tell you, having people pray with you when you call in, and it's just what you need, it's so refreshing.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling people. People love Medi-Share and saving tons of money. The typical family, bond of saying, could save $500 a month.
I am so thankful for Medi-Share. It's so different, and I mean different in a very, very good way, Brant.
It is a good different. Call right now. They're so easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. The case against Louisiana's Ten Commandments law will be reheard after the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals vacated a previous 3-judge panel's decision that declared the law requiring the Ten Commandments be hung in all Louisiana public school classrooms was unconstitutional. No date has been set for the hearing that will now be heard by the full court rather than the 3-judge panel. State and parish officials are calling for prayers after 2 deputies were shot at the Iberville courthouse. Iberville Parish Sheriff's Deputy Charles Riley died after he and another deputy were shot while interviewing a suspect around 8 o'clock Monday evening. The other deputy is the son of Iberville Parish Sheriff Brett Stassi. He is in critical condition in a Baton Rouge hospital. The shooter died from a gunshot wound to the head. It's not yet clear whether it was self-inflicted or not. Parish President Chris Daigle.
They were finished up in interrogation, and there's still a lot of investigation going on.
LRN.
Oh, this party is a blast. Thanks. The community center here at England Airport has been so easy to work with. They let me pick my own caterer, decorator, and DJ, and they handle the rest. I definitely recommend them for your upcoming 40th birthday party. You mean the 29th?
Make your special occasion more memorable. Book the community center at England Airpark. For availability and details on rental agreements and event planning services, visit englandairpark.org.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds on our Tuesday with the afternoon highs getting up near 90. Only about a 10% chance of any showers or thunderstorms and little of any breeze at all. Tonight down to 69 for the overnight low. And then for our Wednesday, cloudy to start us out and then partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the afternoon highs again near 89 degrees. Only a slight chance of any rain. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Welcome back to Tuesday Talk Back on October the 7th. Glad to have you along with us for the ride this morning. Being joined this morning by Jacob Whitcop, the director of choirs at Louisiana Christian University, who's putting on a different headphone and hat this weekend as the director for the Red River Chorale, which has a great performance coming up. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
And there I go again. Oh, I turned that off after the ladies left and forgot to turn it back on. Sorry, sir.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
We're glad that you're here this morning, and we're looking at the Red River Chorale's concert called Remembrance coming up this Thursday at 7:30, and it sounds like it's going to be really an intriguing concert. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I leaned into this. I came on board with the chorale as their artistic director in spring of 22, and they'd had taken a break through COVID, and so this was sort of their we're back in town sort of concert, and that was a joy to conduct, and we've been together ever since. And so one of the things that I've done in the last couple seasons is sort of thematically concentrating each concert to fit within a sort of larger artistic design, and that sort of takes us out of the traditional choir concert. If you go and watch something at, some university or some high school, that often I think there's this idea that you have a traditional choir concert where you hit all the major styles, and it has a flow to it, and it's very good, and it's what I've done for years and years and years. But leaning into the thematic thing can be very challenging, but also invigorating. And so this October concert we're leaning into this idea of stories, and some of the stories are told through the lyrics, and then there are other pieces on the concert that the story is told. There's a little backstory to it, but it really sets that piece up. It helps the listener process it a lot differently.
That sounds like an adventure for the ears coming up on Thursday night, and the end of the memories. Tell us what the title Remembrance means.
Sure. Well, and I include this in the program notes. I should have actually printed those off. But anyway, so there are some things, there's some moments that we recall from, I don't know, some semester abroad, or perhaps when we were an undergrad at LC, like we were talking earlier, or some person that we crossed paths with years ago. There are other things that throughout our lives we continue to come back and remember because they're important, or they were impactful, or they just stood out. So all the pieces in the program tie into that.
Well, music has a way of connecting people to emotions, memories, thoughts. You can listen to a style of music that instantly carries you to a circus, or to a scary movie, or an exciting roller coaster ride. I mean, music has a way of just communicating feeling, and it sounds like these songs are going to help people really connect with those emotions.
I think so. Before I came here, I was in grad school, but before grad school, I used to teach high school, and I had a sort of music creation class, and it was sort of a redesigned music appreciation for high schoolers. And the first day of class, I started with an essay prompt, and they came back with essays, and they needed to complete the sentence, I listen to music with ... And the easy response is to say, I listen to music with my ears or with my friends. But if you just wait, there are other layers that come out. We listen with our memories. We listen with our expectations. Sometimes we listen with, I don't know, our blood sugar if we forgot to eat that day,
Well, I sang in choir in high school, didn't sing in college, but I played music in the band, and I've always had this appreciation for music to carry us as a almost like a vehicle to transport us. The Red River Chorale obviously has that vision. I was reading up on you guys. You're 20 years old, started in 2005. This is the 18th season because you've took a couple of years off because of COVID. But tell us how I think you're only the third artistic director in the history of the.
I think that's right, third or fourth. I'd have to check, but yeah. So I was finishing school up in New England, and then we were living in Boston, my wife and I, and our at the time 2 children. We now have 3. Anyway, we were living in New England, and thankfully we were both able to work through that, and so we didn't have any challenges there. But the opportunity for LC coming down as their department chair, that came up, And those interviews went really great, really positive, and the rest is history there. And so I ended up here. And then once I was here, we sort of got connected with the chorale.
Now, my show notes tell me that you're originally from Montana.
That's right.
So Montana to Boston to Cajun country, that's quite a trek.
You did a triangle.
That's right, yeah. Or I just need
kind
to
of.
yeah.
Maybe obtuse or something.
You know, I've done that cross country. Yeah, so I have done a triangle. You know, I've driven from here all the way up to Montana and back. So it takes a few days, especially with kids.
Especially with kids, yeah. You know, most of us, I've never been to Boston. Have you ever been to Boston, Stephen?
No. Been to Montana a couple times. I like Montana.
Montana is that big sky country that
it is
long ways to everything.
That's the best way to describe it. I don't know if it's still true, but I think when I was in my undergrad, my hometown was the furthest from a Starbucks in the lower 48.
Wow. How far is that?
About 4 hours.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if Stephen could survive.
Well, the good thing is a lot of that is you don't have to have a speed limit. You just go.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Is that still true? There's sections with no speed limits?
No, there was what was it called? Reasonable and prudent, I think, was the verbiage they used at the time. They gone away with it.
Oh, no.
Well, for a Lamborghini, reasonable and prudent, 120.
It could be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so how was the change to Boston? That was probably a pretty dramatic culture shift.
Yeah. I guess in a really condensed version, I guess I got the itch. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to push myself more. I wanted to experience a little more depth in the realm of music that I was making. And so I leaned into graduate school and wanted to conduct more ensembles and do some other music that perhaps was a little more confined with where I was at the time. So, yeah.
You stretched your horizons.
Did you like it up there?
You know, I did. It took a little while to adjust, for sure. You know, there's a maybe misconception that it's all packed and it's always urban, but, you know, you drive half an hour out of town. I think Walden Pond, like the famous Walden Pond, is 45 minutes away from where we lived.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you could go to an apple orchard. You could hit the beach. You could drive up to a lighthouse in a couple hours.
Wow.
I
heard it's pretty chill for a big city.
I think so, yeah. It's really condensed just because it's so old.
Gotcha.
So I understand you were working on grad school up there. Do we call you doctor now?
Yep.
All right. So we got to give honor to whom honor is due. Dr. Jacob Witkoff is our guest this morning, talking about the concert remembrance that will be held by the Red River Chorale this Thursday at First Presbyterian. Are pre-tickets available, or do people buy the door? How's that work?
Yeah, redriverchorale.com. We do have a way to purchase on our website. You can also purchase at the door, and we do have a discounted student pricing as well.
Very nice. Always helpful. Do your students get credit for going to something like this?
Yeah, they do. So the other big part of my job at LC, a lot of the students, they need to attend a certain number of concerts every semester just to make sure they're saturating in that broader music culture. And so this does count as one of those.
I always got my 5 cultural credits.
Well, they ought to get, you always ought to get double credits for something like this. I mean, this is like serious culture, right? This is like big time culture.
You know, I'll tell you what about this concert, and this might be an interesting twist. I've done, you know, classical masterworks for sure. And even with the chorale, we've done masterworks. We worked on Mozart Requiem a couple years ago. This concert is a little bit different. We're not necessarily stylistically confined. And so we've got a couple of Beatles covers, actually. We've got kind of X, Y, and Z. It'll take you all over the map, and maybe some little genres you didn't know existed.
Wow. That sounds very intriguing. So let's talk about the Red River Chorale itself for a minute. This is a community choir, basically, that for, you know, if you're not in high school or college or in your church choir, you might think, well, there's nothing for me to do, but this is actually for those who enjoy singing, to be a part of something. If you've ever been a part of choir, you know how special that is.
Yeah, I think that hits the nail on the head. And I'd even say a lot of our church members a lot of our choir members are double dippers. They sing in church choir, they sing, or perhaps they perform with community theater. They've just sort of crafted this into part of their life, that they're also making time for this, and they sang in high school or they sang in college, and they say, you know what? I'm not done making music.
What is the process, the application process and the audition process to be part of the Red River Chorale?
Yeah. Well, we usually wait until either between seasons or right after a concert. In between concerts, it's better to jump on kind of at a hard break. But that's a contact through our social media or with us after the concert, and then we schedule an audition. And that audition is someone will come and sing a little bit for us. We'll talk a little bit and kind of test their range and see if we've got a spot for them.
A little late to sign up for Thursday night, but to sing in the choir, but definitely people can still get their tickets. I'm looking right now on redriverchorale.com. There's a tickets button up at the top of the center, and it shows you how to get those tickets. Man, that student price is very generous.
Yeah, I think it's important too that we make it as accessible as possible to the student and maybe just right out of college sort of demographic. I think that's important.
Well, I'm looking. Yeah, you have the season ticket, and this is the first of the season.
Right. Yep. We've got the concert this week, and then we're up again at just up the street at Xavier in December
18th. Yeah, Declaration. Awesome. And then March 14th, Aspiration, and May 14th, Tribute. So it's the one-word tour for the concerts this year.
Yeah. I try to just make it simple, and the broader umbrella for the season is just leaning into some of the larger reasons that we sing, as people, and whether by ourselves or with other people.
So tickets are available at redriverchorale.com. There's also a Sing With Us tab. You can sign up there and give your information if you're interested. Information about the board of directors. Many of these are names that you would recognize in the community, longtime friends of music. I recognize most of these names, so appreciate their dedication to bringing and keeping good music here. Again, tell us the time and place for the concert.
7:30 p.m. on Thursday. And this is First Presbyterian off of Windermere. So if you're on the Pineville side, it takes a little while, depending on traffic and all that.
Not too bad, but yeah. You hit that 28 exit and then turn left on Windermere, and you're right there, not far down. So go to redriverchorale.com. That's CHORALE. Make sure that E's on the end there. Or on Facebook. I'm sure y'all have the contact information there. Yep. All right, Dr. Jacob Witkoff from the Louisiana Christian University and the Artistic Director for the Red River Chorale, our guest this morning. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us about it.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. We look forward to hearing more. We'll be back right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Starting a business can be overwhelming, especially when you do it alone. Don't do it alone. Take control of your future with a Janney King Gulf Coast franchise. With Janney King, you get guaranteed initial growth, reliable operational support, and ongoing education to set you up for success. Janney King has built a proven system that gives you the tools to take control of your future confidently and with the support you need to thrive. The future is yours today at JannyKingCleans.com.
Janney King, the king of clean. When buying a home or property, you have a choice for your real estate closing attorney. Fine Legal Services, LLC is a full-service title company offering residential and commercial real estate closings, title insurance, and more. Call your Alexandria, Louisiana attorneys, George Fine and Jeremy Cedars, at 318-767-2226 to learn more, or visit fine-lawyers.com. Let your realtor and lender know that you choose Fine Legal Services.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback. We're happy to have you here on this terrific Tuesday. We have enjoyed our guests. We've had 3 different segments this morning. Dr. Noah Miller from the clinics. We've had the Fair Queens that were here. And then we just had the Artistic Director for the Red River Chorale, Dr. Jacob Witkoff, talking about their concert Thursday night. But now the special guest for the rest of the show is you on the BOM Talk line, 318-442-8255. It's open line up until 9 o'clock. Love to have you call in and chat with us about what's on your mind. And I'll tell you what's on my mind is always crafted by what I see Stephen Maxwell TV on Facebook talking about, because that's a great go-to place for news. By the way, let me just thank you for covering the prayer event last Thursday.
Oh, yeah. You had everybody there.
Well, it was a great turnout for something that was thrown together in 36 hours, but you covered it. Yeah, the other media all did a great job. And I think it's like people were just looking for something positive. They needed something to kind of change the tone, and I feel like it did.
And I thought one of the cool things is when you told people, they were lined up in front of the school board, and you said, everyone in your little area, pray on your own, like come together, and you could tell different denominations were huddling up and doing their thing. So that was pretty cool. It was
It
great.
kind of felt like heaven, because you could tell where the Pentecostals were and where the Baptists were and where I'm just kidding.
No, you're right.
It
I
was
definitely
beautiful.
heard the Pentecostals. Yeah.
But it really was. And I had several people tell me later that was one of their favorite parts of the event, was that participation part, instead of just sitting there listening to people pray.
Oh, no, Octavia singing was pretty great.
Oh, she's amazing.
She is so good.
And it was fun because I got to play guitar for her, and we didn't have a chance. We were talked about we would at least show up. She was going to come early so we could go over the songs. Well, she got there like 12:02. You know, I had to start at 12.
We are seasoned professionals.
So, well, she's so easy to work with. She's such a pro.
Speaking of singing, you know, and we had our last guest, if I had God come down and grant me one talent, it would be singing.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to sing.
You
I
probably
just can't.
can.
No, I can't. I wish I could.
So years ago, like 30 years ago, we had a guy come to our church, and he did this Everybody Can Sing tour thing that he was doing. And my brother, I hate to say this on the air, but he didn't listen, so because he lives in Manny, so he's a long ways away. But he can't sing. That was the joke. Like if there's a bucket, you know, with a tune in it, there'd be a hole in it. But this guy actually had my brother singing on pitch by the time the end of the hour. And here's what he said. I wish I could remember his name. He's deceased now. But he said, singing is nothing more than elongated speech. I remember that phrase, elongated speech. All you're doing is talking and stretching out the words. And then he taught a few tips on how to find the pitch and move. And by the time the hour was over, everybody was singing on pitch and on key. It was really amazing.
I can barely speak normally.
That is not true.
I have a different kind of voice. I have an odd cadence, and I know I'm well aware of that.
I like your cadence, though, because it is distinct.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, Obama has a distinctive cadence. Stephen Maxwell has a distinctive cadence. Donald Trump has a distinctive cadence.
I had a buddy who was listening to the radio on an Uber a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And the Uber driver had it on. He goes, KSYL in the morning. He goes, this guy sounds fake. And so he calls and texts me. He's like, dude. And he was just ragging me the whole time. It was funny.
Stephen AI Maxwell.
You're listening to the clinics. You're frozen, by the way. I just want you to know.
Oh, why does it do that? Why me? One of the things that's crazy to me on that, when Dave changed over to that British voice, I just can't quite get over that. That one just, you know.
Well, it gets your attention.
It does.
So there you go.
It does. Let me do this.
Hey, a couple of things. Tonight, Alexandria City Council's meeting. Big topic on the agenda is that guest house inn that keeps catching fire over off North MacArthur Drive. Essentially trying to figure out what to do with that. I've looked at the records. There's been several attempts by the city to get that property razed or demolished. There's been multiple fires, as we all know, over the past couple of years. So we'll see what happens with that. A big topic there. City feels like it's a harm for public safety. So that's a big thing we'll be following.
Well, hopefully they can get that squared away. And, you know, it's going to be...
Do you need an invite? I'm sorry.
No, I thought I had redoed it.
We're trying to do the streaming thing if you're listening on the radio.
It says I'm backstage, so...
Okay.
Well, that's, you know, I don't know how much it's going to cost to demolish that, but that's going to be
it looks like anywhere, according to the records, you know, you have the asbestos issues too.
Right.
$600,000 to
oh my goodness,
$2-3 million possibly for all the buildings. And if I think it's closer to the 1.2, 1.3 if it's all the buildings, and they have to do the asbestos mitigation as well.
That makes sense. Asbestos ads and buildings of that age, chances are they have them. We actually, in the city of Pineville, you might recall, they received a donation of the old Red River Rarities building on the corner of Shamrock and Main Street that was donated to the city, and the city had planned to tear it down. A couple of weeks ago, they put a post up where we're shutting down the corner of the intersection of Shamrock and Main, and then the day before, they discovered asbestos in the building and had to pull back and punt. So they're bringing in an outside, asbestos professional and giving us some new prices on that. By the way, breaking news, I just found this out yesterday. The city council meeting for Pineville will not be held next Tuesday night on its regularly scheduled second Tuesday of the month because that's Veterans Day. So it's moving to Monday the 10th. So
okay, cool.
Note in your calendar. I don't, it's be very rare that happens. In my 20 some odd years on the council, it's only happened once or twice that it actually falls on Veterans Day. And being a holiday, as you recall, there was a issue. GATA board had a meeting on I think their notice went out, but it was President's Day. Do you remember that? You probably weren't around when that happened.
I just broke the story on the Supreme Court's decision.
There you go. I started to say the Supreme Court gave the answer to that, and so they did rule in favor of the plaintiff that said they should not. It was an illegal meeting that appointed the executive director. So
we should have more on that this week.
You will, okay?
Yeah, but I posted it, I think Friday. Yeah, Friday.
When you post, I did, and now that you say it, I remember seeing you posted that, and so that being the case with the 11th being a holiday, council is going to move the meeting to the 10th, so Monday the 10th. It'll be interesting then, so Mayor Bishop will come in if he comes in on the 11th for his show, I'm assuming we'll be here that morning.
For Veterans Day?
Yeah, even though it's
I don't know. If the offices are closed, I have to check on that.
Yeah,
so.
Steven's going to check on that.
Hey, I've been enjoying my little holidays off in this new job because in TV, you don't get holidays off. We're like first responder schedules without like the actual tough job. And so it's nice having like the Memorial Day and the Veterans Day and maybe Leif Erikson Day we can throw in there, just all the random ones. So we'll take it.
Well, we'll find out if we're here next week or not. If that's the case, I'm not sure if they'd want to move Mayor Bishop to Monday to do that or just skip the October show. And we've got to find out from Matt Ritchie. I know his schedule. He's on this. If you look at his Facebook page, he's all over the United States. He's covered about 20 states so far in his bid to be treasurer for the National Association of Realtors. I think at the end of October, he'll be back on his regular first and third Tuesdays, though, I believe. Cool. So, little behind the scenes information there. We're coming up on the bottom of the hour. We'll have to take a break for the bottom of the hour news, probably the Bloomberg Radio news. The Bloomberg Radio report will tell us all the stuff that's happening in the markets, happening. And then we'll come back in the after the bottom of the hour news, we'll talk about some other local stuff. And I think you may even have a breaking story.
Well, police jury drama in Rapides Parish will have the full story. It deals with ambulances. Coming up after the break.
That is a teaser.
Here on KSYL.
Right now.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Sources are telling Bloomberg that the owner of the New York Stock Exchange, Intercontinental Exchange, plans to invest $2 billion in Polymarket, a crypto-based betting platform. Polymarket lets traders wager on the outcome of real-world events such as sports and elections. The company handled billions of dollars in wagers on the outcome of the 2024 U.S. presidential election. ExxonMobil says refining margins rebounded in the third quarter, which added around $500 million the prior quarter. Exxon is the first of the oil giants to post quarterly earnings guidance for Wall Street. Meanwhile, the International Energy Agency slashed in half its renewable energy growth forecast in the U.S. by the year 2030. The IEA says it's due to some of the policy changes from the Trump administration. Constellation Brands, the company behind Corona and Modelo beer in the U.S., brewed up better than expected earnings in its latest quarter, despite beer and alcoholic beverages in general struggling as younger consumers drink less. Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with the clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The clinic's on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Think your antivirus is enough? Think again. Your business firewall is the first and often only line of defense against cyber attacks. At Kinetics, we manage, monitor, and update your firewall 24/7, keeping threats out and your data protected. Don't leave your network exposed or your team scrambling. Let the experts handle it. Get your free assessment today at kinetics.solutions. That's kinetics.solutions. Kinetics, IT that works.
It's Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and LifeLock is here with tips to help protect your identity. Use strong passwords, set up multi-factor authentication on your accounts, report phishing, and update your software on all your devices. And for comprehensive identity protection, LifeLock is your best choice. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious uses of your personal information, but also fixes identity theft, guaranteed or your money back. So stay smart, stay safe, and stay protected with a 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use the promo code BECK. Terms do apply.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Well, good morning. A mixture of sunshine and clouds on our Tuesday with the afternoon highs getting up near 90. Only about a 10% chance of any showers or thunderstorms. And little of any breeze at all. Tonight down to 69 for the overnight low. And then for our Wednesday, cloudy to start us out and then partly cloudy in the afternoon. We'll see the afternoon highs again near 89 degrees. Only a slight chance of any rain. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
Welcome back to Talk Back. You heard the tease before the break. Stephen Maxwell was at the Rapides Parish Police Jury meeting yesterday, and there was a little bit of discussion. You told me it was about ambulances. We're still talking about ambulances. I have no idea. I wasn't there. I don't know if any other news media covered the story. So
it was just me.
It was just you. Yeah. So we're going to find out from you what happened.
And I'm going to try and set it up for you as best as possible. Very complicated situation. Make it as short as possible. It was the Rapides Parish Police Jury Committee meeting yesterday evening. And at the end of the meeting, they had their ambulances subcommittee. That's probably not the technical term, but essentially that's what it is. Backstory, Pafford was chosen as the sole ambulance provider for Rapides Parish. They started operations back in June, so just a couple of months ago, taking the place of Acadian Ambulance that was in place for decades, if I'm correct.
Mm-hmm.
Under the new system they have in Rapides Parish, they are heavily monitored, meaning Pafford is. They have the Ambulance Advisory Committee, which is made up of non-jury members. It's people in the community, a representative from fire departments, police departments, the local major hospitals. LSUA is employee is the chairman there. And they talk with Pafford, they hear the complaints, and they make recommendations to the police jury. The advisory committee doesn't make any legislation or ordinances. They just advise the police jury as an extra overseeing measure. Yesterday, police jury members met, and Pafford came up there and gave their numbers. They basically said they were essentially not meeting the mark. I have the numbers here. It's loading. Give me 1 second. They have to be 90%. So there are 3 time zones. There's the 8-minute time zone, a 12-minute time zone, and a 20-minute time zone. So they're expected to be under those numbers in that each time zone based on geographical distance, right? So if you're in an 8-minute time zone, you got to be under 8 minutes 90% of the time to be meeting that mark. Same for 12, same for 20. They're doing really good on the 20. And they have apparently ambulances roaming the rural areas constantly. Something they say is different than what the previous provider did. The numbers are, okay, here they are. Technical issues. So in the 8-minute time zone, they're 72.26%. In the 12-minute or less, they're 79.26. And in the 20 minutes or less, they're at 82.93. So under the numbers, but during the meeting, Randy Harris, a police jury member, indicated that the numbers that they've been going off of weren't necessarily correct, that the numbers that they've had for the past couple of decades, I don't want to say the word cooking the books or anything, but there's something called exceptions. You can take exceptions for special instances where they don't count that call in the average time because of extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, kind of throw away the biggest one and throw away the smallest one and average out the middle.
Yes, well, the police jury, Randy Harris, member, he claimed that Acadian, in their last full year of operation in 2024, January to January, they had 5,000 exceptions, over 15 a day averaging.
Oh, wow.
And so they said that their numbers in the 70s and 80s% were actually maybe lower. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
And so they don't really have a good basis on what to go off of for Pafford. And that's something that they're going to have to discuss. Multiple police jury members, Randy Harris, Paris Giles says, I believe that to be true. Craig Smith, the president, had some concerns. Sean McLaughlin usually sides with the Acadian side, so there are differing opinions there. Greg Pafford, the CEO, came up at the end of some of that discussion. Everything was kind of getting heated. McLaughlin claimed that he wasn't able to speak his piece. He was getting shut off. This is Pafford during the meeting, and I hope I have the right sound up. I'll have this story up in a couple hours. But here's what the CEO of Pafford had to say.
Bid on this. We got a third of what the true calls were, guys. 17,000. They took 5,000 of the 17,000 to break out their percentages. Okay? He just said, I told you on day one, we would be 50% better than the other service. We got the documentation to prove that. You also told us don't worry about the number of helmets on road. Don't worry about the response time. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And that's McLaughlin talking to Smith right there, saying, I will not be silenced. Smith used the gavel because he said he was speaking out of turn. Just go back.
But I don't think, as us, as an ambulance company, has the true facts. Y'all been lied to for the last 10 years. Lied to. I believe. And Alex, when he said it's going to take 35 ambulances, get your checkbook out, okay? When you do 3.8 calls a day, you can't pay the bills on 3.8 calls a day. Hold on just a second. And when you have 22 ambulances at night, and there's only 12 or 13 calls after midnight, what are these guys doing? Hanging out at playing cards or not making ambulance calls. If we could move them resources at night during the day, we could get closer to making them responsive. And someone asked the question, why does the outer lying areas have better response? There's ambulances out in the middle of nowhere making them responsive. You didn't have that before I came to town. 45-minute response time, hour response time. I'm telling you the truth. We're showing you the real facts. We're not going to get up here and lie to you. Y'all have been lied to. Put it on the news. And we're trying our best. We're making improvements every day. We're hiring local people that want to work here, that don't want to drive 2 hours to Ferry to work, or drive an hour and a half to Lebanon. They want to work in their local community. But every time we get people signed up for orientation, the Acadian Ambulance gives them a couple more dollars an hour, not to work in their local community.
$2.50, matter of fact.
So, we've got, 9 more months, 10 more months? I'm not happy with the end of the year. We'll do something different.
And that was Greg Pafford, CEO of Pafford EMS for the Louisiana, Mississippi area. It got pretty heated.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Police jurors were arguing with each other.
Wow. And you were the only one there to cover it. Did he say put it on the news? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he looked at the camera and said put it on the news.
All right.
And for my own transparency here, could I have gotten it up yesterday? Yes, but I'm going to wait till today. I reached out to Acadian Ambulance for them to come, and I wanted to do my due diligence via email, waiting for them to respond, but I'll post it here in hopefully an hour or two.
Well, that's just that's responsible, and I appreciate that. I've only had one personal encounter with Pafford. About 2 months ago, my daughter got in a wreck about a mile from my house. She called me, obviously panicked, crying. I mean, it had just happened. And so I live near the corner of Edgewood and Donahue in Pineville. Her accident was at the on-ramp by the Burger King going north on the expressway. So you see, you know how close I am. So I'm 2 minutes away. I got there, pulled over into the grass on the side, and as I'm walking to the car, Pafford pulls up.
Yeah.
And I was blown away. They maybe a 5-minute response time, maybe. I mean, from the time I got the call, me getting to my car and getting there, I'm 2 or 3 minutes away, and they're less than a minute, so 3-minute response time. Thankfully, nobody needed their services because no one was injured. But I was that's one anecdotal experience in Pineville. I don't know where they're stationed at. They were coming from the Ball area. Thank you, Mayor Wilking. And if that's where they host them, I don't know. But I was very impressed with that one experience.
And they had, police jurors had multiple letters from different fire departments across central Louisiana saying they've noticed a significant improvement in ambulance services. So we have those letters as well. We'll show them to you. It's a complicated situation.
Oh, no doubt.
There's going to be more that comes out. I'm sure the next meeting is going to be equally as heated, if not more.
And this was not the ambulance advisory committee. This was the full jury.
Committee meeting.
This was the
So next week is the full jury.
Oh, that was the committee meeting.
But all the jurors are there.
Oh, okay.
But then they'll have the actual meeting where they can finalize legislation, or ordinances, whatever they call it.
Well, if anybody's got a perspective on that, if you were there, feel free to give us a call, 318-442-8255, the BOM Talk Line. We'll be back with more right after this.
KSYL. Central Louisiana has what it takes. Strong workforce, perfect location, and a legacy of getting things done. That's why Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is producing clean fuel in Pineville, investing $2.5 billion, bringing 1,100 construction jobs, 600 permanent jobs, and millions in local tax revenue. Made here, powered by us. Visit BeaverLakeEnergy.com and see how we're putting...
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
Alexandria, when it comes to your vehicle, you deserve the real deal. At Ceramic Pro Alexandria, we promise true ceramic window tints. No shortcuts, no substitutes. Our Ion and Ultimate Ion coatings are built to last, and we're proud to be one of the only ceramic coating companies that reports directly to Carfax, adding verified value to your vehicle's history. So for genuine quality and the peace of mind of Carfax reporting, just call Joe at Ceramic Pro, 318-619-0862.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK back.
I like that toe tapping, upbeat music, bringing us back from the break. 442-8255, 318-442-8255. Got to get that 318 there. You're used to using the extra digits now?
I always did it. I don't know why.
Probably because you moved around a lot. And
maybe.
You took your 318 to Florida with you, and so then you had to use theirs over, so yeah.
Or when I call people here, it comes up as my mother's name for some reason if you don't have my number. And it says Oakdale, so I always get the old voicemail, and then I'll call you back.
People don't want to talk to They think it's a spam. Spammers have been really good about calling from small towns, and so you think it's somebody, and it's just they're spoofing that number.
Yeah.
I will tell them many times if I do answer, because I try to answer my calls. If I'm not in the meeting, I'm going to try to answer it. And if it's spam, then I'm going to politely say, I'll say something like, look, I'll be honest with you, I can't trust you because you're this company, but you pretended you were from Roebling, Louisiana. And if you're going to fake your phone number calling me, I can't trust anything you say. So please put me on your do not call list. And
I hear you.
That's hang up, So, because those calls are frustrating. national warranty on your car, an opportunity. Like, how can I trust you if you're going to lie about your phone number?
Ugh, can't stand it.
All right, so that's going to be interesting to see. You'll post that news article about the police jury here in a little bit, and you're saying the story's not over. The saga will continue. The communication will carry on.
It has only just begun, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I don't know what could come out of this. When they're talking about numbers, they floated around a couple of ideas, but we kind of have to wait and see at this point.
Well, I guess let me ask you this. I'm the outsider looking in. Is Pafford saying, or is people saying that the 90% standard is an artificially high standard?
Could be.
Because...
Could be.
I mean, and did you say that they were throwing away 5,000 calls?
I don't want to say that. I would say that they took 5,000 plus exceptions, according to the police jury, in the 2024 calendar year.
In that year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he makes a good point that if they're...
Oh, and Pafford's numbers that they released yesterday are with 0 exceptions. Very important point.
That is critical information, yeah.
Probably left out the main important point right there.
But it sounded like what he was saying was that we're running 20 some odd ambulances 24 hours a day. If you let us run 12 at night, we could run 36 during the day or something. I'm making that number up. I don't know. Yeah. All right, we've got somebody calling on the line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yes. I wonder what the city of Alexandria is going to do about the police. We had another police resign yesterday. They were 50 short. Something is wrong with that department. They just, it's dangerous for these young police officers to go on domestic violence alone without someone with them. They need 2 people to go on a domestic violence. That's dangerous to go on a domestic violence by yourself. I don't know what we're going to do at the city of Alexandria. We're so many police short. It's very dangerous. We might need Trump to send in the National Guard here to get things straightened up because we need extra police. We don't have enough.
I think that has been. Thank you for your call. We appreciate that. There has been discussion of Governor Landry had the word Alexandria slip out of his mouth and talking about possible locations for the National Guard. In all honesty, I'm trying to wrap my head around what would they do? Would they do ride-alongs with the police? It's not like we have a specific location you would put them at. I don't know. So
going back, I don't know. I think it'd be easy to find out that this is not an Alexandria-specific problem. Mm-hmm. Besides Pineville having enough police officers, it's pretty common across Louisiana. Sheriff's departments, police departments, they just don't have enough people that want to be police officers, and they're having a hard time filling those positions.
Well, national
shortages
media
everywhere.
Demonized the policing profession for a few years.
Sure.
And so who wants to go into that field? It is hard. Every law enforcement leader.
Plus with the pay and the hours, Right. And one thing I know Chief Grimion and the mayor has talked about, they're not going to lower their standards either. And you have to have those psychological evaluations and all those things.
I wanted to comment that what they've done recently in firing the 2 police officers, they were very transparent, very upfront.
They were.
I think they've handled that extremely well. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Up until just last few days, when they were talking about that plant they're trying to put in Pineville, of course, I hope they don't do it. I wish somebody else would come in there. I hate to give in on this carbon capture. Anyway, they were saying about 1,000, 1,100 construction jobs. Okay. Then they said, now this is in the past. They said 50 permanent jobs. And I thought, we're doing all this for 50 jobs? Well, now all of a sudden this ad, now they're saying 600 jobs. So I wonder how we went from 50 to 600 all of a sudden. So I don't know. It's some phony stuff going on. But anyway, we'll see. But I'm against it just because of carbon capture. So I don't know. We'll see what they do. I hope they get something there someday.
Yeah, that's a great comment. I had always heard it would be about 100 jobs full-time at the plant, and then up to 500 ancillary jobs like loggers and mechanics. That's what I had heard, but I don't know if that's being conflated.
Yeah, okay, that's probably what they're doing, throwing that in there. Okay. All right.
All right, appreciate
We'll see.
Thank you very much. Let's
Speaking
go
about that real
good day.
quick before the next phone call, and I'm not trying to like defend myself here all the time. I posted the video of the interview with Dr. Lauren
Lampert. Scott. Lauren Scott.
Lauren Scott, Louisiana economist, very well known in that sector. Yeah. And the soundbite was about supporting carbon capture projects. It'd be great for the economy. He thinks it's something we can't miss. And I posted that, and all the comments, why are you only doing one side? Why are you only doing one side? I was like, I have legitimately posted the opposing side more. I got criticized for not doing that enough. So just saying, go through my page. You can find those against it.
Let's go to the next line. Good morning, caller. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hello?
Yeah, that's you.
Yes. Speaking of the mayor of Alexandria, why doesn't he ever come on? You know, the mayors of Pineville always on there, Mayor Ball. I'm sure y'all invited him to come on. I mean, he needs to, come on there and give some explanations for the things and defend, what people are saying about the city of Alexandria. And I'm just wondering why he doesn't come on. And I'll just hang up and listen.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I invited him a while back. He told me at the time that I invited him that he felt like if he did one, he had to do all of them. And unfortunately, he didn't feel like he had the time to do all of them. But he has... He's made himself available for interviews, but not for coming into the studio.
Mm-hmm. I haven't asked him yet since I've been here. I can do that, though.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, let's go. Another caller. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Good morning. Hey, getting back to the police and the National Guard deal. Now, National State Guard troops are trained in riot control.
Mm-hmm.
But unless they're military police, they don't really have much police training, and they're certainly not post-certified. So there's an issue there. But the lady talking about, we used to run, sending two police. We used to run decades ago. City police rode two cops to the vehicle.
Right.
I mean, that goes back all the way into the 50s and 60s. So I'm confused. Why do we have so many vehicles and fewer cops?
I do think we are typically running one per vehicle nowadays. In fact, some of them are set up, you almost can't even put somebody in the passenger seat because they have so much equipment in that vehicle. But I think that's kind of a standard to spread your people out further and give you more visible presence. That's just a guess. I'm not a law enforcement expert at all.
No, and I'm not either, but and it's changed a whole bunch. I mean, I can remember when you called the plate in to get the information because the dispatcher / radio operator was the one that had access to the NCIC. Mm-hmm. Now everything's, almost instantaneous. In fact, I know the state police have readers. They can turn the car around, hit a button, it'll read the plate, and it'll kick it back. And it only takes seconds.
Yeah, technology.
I don't know if it really has, and I don't know if our sheriff's department does or not. I would assume at least some of the cars do.
Great question.
If you look at the crime rate per capita, Alexandria's like number 8 or 9. And it's almost, and when I'm talking about homicides.
Mm.
It's real. Now, total numbers are not that high.
Right.
But, it's kind of what a city of 60,000. So, and it's actually up there. Yeah, and it's almost always, and I'm gonna challenge this, and I've said it before, but I'm gonna challenge everybody. Graph homicide rates versus single parent homes and see what you come up with.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say if there's a causation, but the higher the level of single parent home / out of wedlock birth, the higher the homicide rate.
Definitely some issues in our society, and that, like you mentioned, maybe not causation, but definitely a correlation. We've got to take this break. Caller, you got another call on the line. Stick around. We'll be back with you right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
It's the ultimate bourbon tasting competition, Battle of the Bourbon, and your chance to drink, vote, and win. Woo-hoo! Here's how. Local restaurants have crafted unique bourbon experiences for you to savor. See the restaurant list at battleofthebourbon.com. Visit each restaurant, enjoy their carefully crafted bourbon cocktails. Pay attention to the taste, the savor, and the overall experience. Then cast your vote for the restaurant that impressed you most online at battleofthebourbon.com.
Participants who have visited a restaurant and voted will periodically win prizes, including gift cards, prize packs, experiences, and more. The Battle of the Bourbon competition ends September 30th, and the winner will be announced on October 1st. Plus, there are other ways to win. Tag the restaurants you visit and share your experience at #BourbonBattleSenlaw to win for best photos. May the best bourbon experience win. Visit ExploreLouisiana.com to plan your trip today.
For the city. This group loves to compete. This group's not going to back down from anybody.
We bleed. A lot of joy competing with these kids. Tech Blue. And I know we're going to fight and scratch and claw to compete for Conference USA Championship.
Join us Thursday. It's another road trip as Louisiana Tech faces Kennesaw State. Our coverage begins at 4:30 on your home for Bulldogs football. Louisiana Tech football, exclusively in Cenla on 94.7 ESPN.
I have nothing to do.
Looking for something to do?
Listen up, Cenla.
Get revved up for the high-octane Classic Meets Modern Car Show on Saturday, October the 11th. Come to Vaughn Chevrolet in LeCount, where old school meets new school, along with music, food, and prizes. It's free, family-friendly fun.
Take a trip back in time at the 5th Annual Southern Forest Heritage Museum Fall Fest in Longleaf. On Saturday the 18th, everyone's invited for live blacksmithing, Model T rides, free museum tours, food and craft vendors, and more.
Have a spooktacular time at the Pineville Family Fall Fest Thursday, October the 23rd at the Ward 9 Sports Complex. It's free. Enjoy a petting zoo, jumpers, hot dogs, and candy for everyone. Starts at 6.
If you're 55 and up, come to the Halloween Trunk or Treat Thursday the 30th at Magnolia Baptist Church, presented by the Rapides Council on Aging. Stop by from 11 till 2 for free refreshments, fun, and info about senior services available to you.
Sounds good.
Cenla Broadcasting. The Greenhouse presents Your Pet's Message from Heaven. I know that you can't see me, but trust me, I'm right here. Although I'm up in heaven, my love for you stays near. So often I see you crying. Many times you call my name. I want so much to lick your face and ease some of your pain. But our loving God has promised me that when his time is right, you'll step out of the darkness and meet me in the light.
The Greenhouse.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
We're going to go back to call line real quick. Caller, you're up, and you got about a minute.
Well, President Trump said that if the government shutdown continues, he's going to pull the money from this Democrat Green New Deal, which might kill this carbon capture stuff.
No, that's what funds it. So, yeah, it was in his big, beautiful bill, but if he does pull that funding for carbon capture and carbon sequestration and credits, there's no doubt. I mean, the builders of the mill itself have said that if that bill's not there, if that money's not there, they won't build it. So you're right, caller. Thank you for that observation. All right, so we're wrapping up another Tuesday. It flew by. We had 3 guests early on, and then you and I got to chat about stuff. I'll be looking forward to your story on the police jury.
Yeah, hopefully have it soon.
All right, stick around. Make sure you follow Stephen Maxwell TV on Facebook. Follow KSYL and follow Cenla Broadcasting on Facebook. That's where you get all the good news. Al will be back tomorrow. Uncle Al, as he's affectionately called sometimes. We've got the CLTCC Workforce Wednesday coming up at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Stick around for that. We'll see you, everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.